Yeah, you know, about the prophet. The prophets, they have the prophecy in the dream. They see. Now we start another show, Studio Emmet. Last time I was alone. Now I invite my good friend. Anytime when we meet each other, we speak about Jewish guide, about believing in God and what. We study Torah together. He's very interested in that, and I like it, but that he's my friend. So we start today with the same. We continue what we did home. And
hello, Lupo.
Let's start.
It's nice to be here sitting and speaking with you again on such topics. As you and everyone in the audience can see, Lupo and I, we dress differently, we have different customs, and the way that we approach God and the way that we observe the laws obviously are much different. But one of the things which is great about our religion and all religions is that there is no one way to find God, and that we all look for God in our own way.
And I want to ask you, why you believe in God?
It was not very many years ago, and I was in a much different place in my life. I was very, very poor. I was very, very depressed.
You was poor?
I was living on the streets.
Oh boy.
I was a street singer on the boardwalk in Venice Beach. For those of you in Southern California, you know what that is. For people around the country and around the world, I'm certain you've all got a quarter where the poor people go and live, and that's where I was. I was a street singer singing for tips on the Venice boardwalk. And one evening, I went to sleep, and I had a little room that I was sharing with a girl who was to become my wife, and we slept in this room, and I woke up, and I had just had a dream, and I woke up my to-be wife, and I told her about this dream that I had, and it was the most amazing thing that had ever come to me in dream world or real world. In my dream, I am sitting alone by myself, and all of a sudden a funny little man comes to me. Had never seen him before. And for some reason we start having a conversation. We start talking. The man perhaps did not look too different from you. And in my dream, I just started breaking down and crying to this man, telling him that here I am, I'm a bum, I'm a beggar, I have nothing. I come from a good family. I had an opportunity to have an education and a craft and a profession, and I threw it all away. And I'm sharing this with this little man in my dream, telling him how sorry I am that I have just ruined my life and how ashamed I am of myself. And in my dream, this little man, he just starts laughing as if it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard in his whole life. And he looks at me, and he puts his hand on me, and he goes, "Don't worry about a thing, you're doing the right thing." And all of a sudden I look back at this man, and now he's holding a guitar. And in my dream, I can't see the bottom of the guitar. All I can see is the headstock, which is the top part of the guitar. And on the headstock, it says Gibson, which is a very famous guitar manufacturer, and the words Gibson are in mother of pearl and abalone, and I can see this is a gorgeous, expensive, exquisite instrument. And in my dream, the little man, the funny little man, he hands me this guitar. And I just break down sobbing. I say, how could you give me this guitar? This is a beautiful, priceless instrument. Here I am, I have nothing, I have nothing. Again, he just laughs and laughs and laughs. He says, this is your guitar, goodbye. I wake up and I tell my fiancée my dream. She says to me, well, you're probably going to get a guitar. Now, you have to remember, at this time of my life, I'm not dressed like this. I'm in rags, and I'm playing on the Venice Boardwalk. I have a $15 guitar. If it was worth $15, maybe. And there I am sitting and playing songs for whoever would walk by and drop money in my case. And I'm singing and playing my songs, and all of a sudden I look behind me, and there's a man sitting there. This is a true story. Now, this is not the dream. This is in real time, real life. There's a man sitting behind me. And he's sitting there listening to me sing and play. And I notice that he's holding a guitar. And I see this guitar is a very, very beautiful guitar that he's holding. So I go back, I play some more, I sing some more. And then I turn back to him again, and I say, well, how about you playing us a song? Because I'm sure a man with a guitar like this, he must be a master. And he's sitting there, he's indulging me, listening to me. And the man, he looks at me, and he says, oh, I don't play. I say to this man, oh, come on, of course you play. I figure he's just playing with me. He says, no, I don't play guitar at all. And then something comes into my mind. It wasn't from me. Maybe you call it Ruach Kodesh, when it's the voice of God.
Kodesh, yeah.
But this voice comes through me. I wasn't thinking, and I just turn to the man and I say, that is a very, very beautiful guitar. Would you like to trade? Now, I'm holding a $15.
Yeah.
The man looks at me, he says, let me see your guitar. So I hand him my guitar. He hands me his guitar. He goes, thump, thump, thump on my guitar. And sure enough, he does not play a note.
Yeah.
When he said he didn't play, he didn't play. It's as if you picked up a tuba and wanted to play tuba. He had no idea how to play. So he's playing my little $15 guitar, and he's going, well, this guitar really is much more for a beginner, and that's what I am. And this guitar that I have, this is much more for a professional, which is what you are. So I think that perhaps we should trade. But, he says, and now he's testing me, he says, but my guitar is worth much more than your guitar. And again, Ruach Kodesh, because, you know, normally I would say, oh, you know, don't worry about it, but I just said, no, you're right, your guitar is worth much, much more than my guitar. So there are people gathered around us at the Venice Boardwalk, and I turn to them and I say, people, I want this guitar. Would you put some money in my case? And I play a song, and all the people gather around and they throw money in my case.
It looks like a dream.
It's
like a dream.
Like a dream.
Yeah, this is real.
This is real. This is in real time. They throw money in my case, and it's not a lot of money. Who knows, $20, $30, but for the Venice Boardwalk, that's a lot of money. So I turn to the man, and I say to him, is that enough money? He looks at the money, he looks at me, he goes, yes, that's enough money. And he hands me the guitar, and he walks away. Now, what is really, really, I have no words, is that the guitar that he handed me was the exact guitar that I saw in my dream. It is Gibson with the mother of pearl, and of course I couldn't see the rest of it. Yeah. But the guitar was a very, very old, priceless guitar, which was the one I dreamed, which is the same guitar that was used by Elvis and Johnny Presley.
So how you explain that? How you explain that?
Again, I started this conversation by saying I have no explanations. It is where I am unable to explain that I say that is the work of God.